And we're live for coverage from Raleigh, North Carolina. This is the Riddle and Riddle Injury Lawyers High School Hoops presented by Crossroads Ford of Fuquay Arena. Two awesome teams in the Cat 6, the Capital Northern bracket of the conference, are ready to go at it. 9-6 Knightdale Knights on the road to take it on the 7-9 Millbrook Wildcats. Now, Millbrook Wildcats are 2-0. 1-1 right now in conference play. Good evening wherever you are. Welcome to Friday Night High School Hoops. I'm Wesley Outland, Jason Halter alongside Josh, of course, Powell along as well. And Jay, as we mentioned, this is a contest right here. You better watch these teams. I think we're going to see some high flying. I think we're going to see a lot of three-point attempts, and it's going to be a very rival basketball between the Knights and the Wildcats.
Yeah, this is a matchup of two of the best teams in the state. Each side is so well coached, and these teams I expect to have deep playoff runs. Now, this is their first matchup in the Cap 6, and this game last year, we were here as a close game. They split last season's series, and I expect this one to go down to the wire. There's college prospects in this ball games, and each team plays so well on the defensive end. So this is going to be a high-intensity matchup that everybody's been watching to see what's going to happen in this game, because they know how well-talented each side is and the level of coaching for each Knightdale and Millbrook.
And these teams are always really fun to watch because you always have playmakers and you always have fundamentals. You always have really well-coached teams. So no matter what year it is, you're always going to get a great performance from each of these teams.
And you've got some star players, obviously, that we really, really need to keep an eye on. And as we mentioned, there's a lot of games that were postponed or having to be rescheduled, obviously, because of Winter Storm Enzos or the winter storm that happened a few weeks ago. It has caused havoc on the schedule, Jay. And to be able to play this game on this Friday night is definitely a blessing.
Well, I think both teams are so glad they went to school today, because that gave them the opportunity to play tonight and compete in this ball game and not have to reschedule it for next week. And one of those players here tonight is Isaiah Green, and he is a superstar for Antonio Watson and Knightdale, and he's a college prospect. He's such an elite scorer, 18 points per game, 3 rebounds, 3 assists, and 5 steals. He'll fill up the stat sheet, and he's the guy that at the next level, you anticipate his game growing to even a higher level. Colleges are after him. He's a 3-level scorer, and he plays on the defensive end as well.
Yeah, and that's one thing that's always really impressive about him is he really rocks the court on the offensive end, but he really gets after it on defense. So you can't count him out on any. You have to know where he is at all times, each end of the floor.
And we mentioned Isaiah Green. We're seeing him warming up here now on our broadcast position and getting things ready to go for Knightdale. Some other players you got to watch out for Millbrook. Who's going to be somebody going to keep an eye on tonight?
Ashton King is a superstar. He averages over 24 points per game already this season. He went for 38 against Cardinal Gibbons. He is an elite scorer. He can shoot it from NBA range. Guys, he'll be stepping beyond the three-point line with ease, shooting the basketball. And Knightdale is going to have to extend their pressure. Now, he can take you off the dribble, and he can go all the way, but he's the guy that's very dangerous shooting the basketball, and he's an alpha. He wants the ball. He wants to dominate a game. And he's the guy also, too, if he feels that double team coming over, he'll dish it off to his teammates. But Christopher Davis there, you see him getting ready for this game, state championship winning head coach. He loves his ball club, loves what Ashton King brings to the table. And, for him tonight, I think they've got to be aggressive early on, Josh, to set the tempo against this Knightdale defense.
Yeah, that's going to be the key, controlling the tempo, because both of these teams can get started at any given point, and they can go off and score in bunches. So it's going to be really important for each team to control the tempo, control the pace, and play the game they want to play.
And we're just about less than 2 minutes away from seeing that tip-off happen in Raleigh. It is Cat 6 conference action, and of course we're going to watch and see what Coach Antonio Watson will see what Knightdale can do. We mentioned obviously Isaiah Green. Another player I got to think of is Xavier Lange, and I mentioned it, the 3 points. Who's going to be brave enough to go for the big deep 3 ball tonight also, Jay? I think that's something we're going to have to watch pivotal tonight.
Yeah, for sure. And Antonio Watson's got a team that'll shoot the ball from deep, and they are very athletic, and he's a superstar coach. Coming to Knightdale, it's just amazing what he's done with this program, and On the other side, Christopher Davis, state championship winning coach, longtime head coach of Millbrook, and one of the best. So this is a coaching matchup with these two going against each other. It's going to be a lot of fun to watch those two work against each other.
How about we're going to take a look at the high school hoops keys to the game. Knightdale, obviously, what do we got to watch here? You see it on the screen, but definitely it's got to be showed on the court.
Well, it's all about slowing down Ashton King, Josh. They've got to find a way to limit his touches, get the ball out of his hands, and then just play physical. And over on the other side for Millbrook, defense will be important, but their focus here has been crashing the boards. The importance of boxing out tonight will be huge.
Yeah, they definitely want to make sure that they're physical on the boards. And again, for Knightdale, it's about slowing down King. He's a wildcat, but if you've seen him play, he's a bulldog. He really gets after it. I mean, like, he's tenacious, and we're going to see some big-time performances. They're going to play their hearts out. They haven't practiced for a lot this week, but to be led by these two coaches, they're going to put on a great performance.
You see the coaches, they're getting pumped up. They know that this is on TV as well, Coach Sonhalter, and obviously watching Coach Davis and watching these other coaches hype up these players. It's a special game, but it's also a big matchup when you know it's on television too, Jay.
Well, just the intensity here tonight, and you can feel the energy here at Millbrook. The fans recognize the importance of this game. The first matchup in Cap 6 play between these two. Now, they will play in a couple weeks at the end of the regular season. But this will be a special game tonight.
And, of course, we're getting ready to obviously hear a long public address as well as here give you the starting lineup. Of course, it is always presented by Riddle & Riddle, the Riddle & Riddle starting lineup when justice counts. Here's the starting five for the Knightdale Knights. And we mentioned it in our pregame, Isaiah Green. Keep an eye on him. Jamari Williams, a talented thrower. So is Jamel Perry, Brandon Davis, and Stephen Murray will be the starting five. As, of course, we're going to see what they'll do here. You got a lot of guards. You got a lot of forwards that are in the starting five for Knightdale.
Yeah, Green averages 18 points per game. Williams, 8 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists per game. Jamel Perry's the star quarterback out on the football field, and Brandon Adams, along with Stephen Murray. Those are two guys that are unsung heroes, very athletic college prospects, and they both play very hard.
And again, as we continue the Riddle & Riddle starting lineup, look at the starting five now for the home squad of the Millbrook Wildcats. We start with Alonzo Hester, number 1. Joshua Bowen, number 2. Ashton King, as we mentioned, the star player. We'll keep an eye on number 10. Mitchell Watson, number 21. We know he's a really good guard in position as a wing, And then Josh Connie, the forward. Only forward on the field right now for Millbrook. He's got an important role.
Yeah, and for this matchup tonight, the starting five are both really talented on each side, but also when they go to the bench, each coach has a lot of confidence with the depth that we'll see tonight. These are deep rosters, and when they bring in some of that rotation, they'll have the same level of play here tonight.
Again, as we mentioned before we get ready for the tip-off, Knightdale Knights coming to this game at 9-6. They're 1-1 in the Cat 6. That's the Cat 6 conference play, 1-1. Millbrook Wildcats are undefeated at 2-0, 7-9 overall. We're ready to get the tip-off and get this game started as we move into the Riddle first quarter. 8 minutes on the clock. Remember, up to 5 fouls per each period. It resets before they go to the double bonus. 2 shot fouls will go in effect after that, and it resets into the next period. Tip-off, and we're underway here in Raleigh. Quickly with the starting five, Alonzo Hester turning it over, and as soon as it quickly goes to Millbrook, they say no. Knightdale will have possession here. Isaiah Green inbounds it back to Jamari Williams. This game underway here in Raleigh. Great atmosphere, ready for this matchup on Riddle & Riddle High School Hoops presented by Crossroads of Fuquay Arena on MyRDC. Green now around the horn, settles around to Williams. Williams with a shot for a 3. Off the glass, won't fall in. And then Stephen Murray, the forward, finds the net. And
Murray's a finisher. Good job there, Josh. Underneath, being physical and going up, getting that board and putting it in.
Looking now to see what Isaiah Green can do here. And now Alonzo Hester. Hester now up the middle lane, sends off. Hands it now to 33 of Conti. Conti in the forward spot, right to the free throw line. Sends it back to the hands of Hester again. moving, powers his way as Bowen. Bowen up the middle. Bowen now up the middle to Conti. Conti, will he let it fall? No, he will not. Quick rebound by Brandon Adams, and here comes Knightdale.
For Knightdale, trying to push the pace, and as Millbrook got back in their transition defense, good job slowing them down, and Knightdale is going to spread the floor, try to create driving lanes for these athletic guards.
Jamari Williams back to Sam Thomas. Thomas looks on, now get it into the hands of Isaiah Green. Isaiah Green looking now for Jamari Williams. He's got pressure now from number 21 of Watson. Watson digs in, also got some help there at the moment by 22 of Brandon Adams. Adams now looking for Green. Green with a jump, and it's in and good. And just like that, Josh, you now have Knightdale on a 4-0 run here.
That's right, and they did what they needed to do. They took their time, they found a good shot, and they knocked it down.
Big opportunity awaits now. Let's see what Millbrook can do. They got to come back. They're down by 4 right now. No basket scored yet. The Wildcats jumper shot for 2. That was an attempt by Bowen. Bowen got the rebound. No correction. Here comes Jamari Williams. Coast to coast up the middle. Good basketball there, Jay. All ball.
And now for Millbrook here. Again, they're in a team that's going to want to push the pace. Nice job there getting to the hoop. But Knightdale is going to have to get back in transition, try to limit those opportunities for the Wildcats.
Continuing to see a 4-0 score right now. Sam Thomas now sends it back off to Jamari Williams. And they'll turn it over. Last touch by Millbrook. Knightdale will keep possession, Josh. Having trouble not hearing our buddy in our headset here. Let's try it now. 5:38. Yes, got you now, my friend. What were you saying, Josh?
Yeah, so this is going quick so far, so we're waiting to see kind of who's going to start controlling the tempo of this game, how they're going to set the pace. Right now, it's a track meet, and both these teams can really do that, but we definitely are going to want to see who slows down a little bit and controls the game.
Jay, we talk about this school, Millbrook. This is a state championship caliber arena, right? I mean, you talked about Coach Christopher Davis and all the accolades that the Millbrook Wildcats have had in all of their sports. Basketball, of course, is no ladder either.
And there's been outstanding matchups in the playoffs and big games throughout Millbrook's history. Christopher Davis has been a part of those games, and this is a veteran coaching staff on his side. And this team, there's some great older seniors, and there's Christopher Davis looking on, and some young players with a lot of talent. So a good mixture of talent on this year's squad.
Back around to Thomas. Thomas looks for Isaiah Green. Green to Williams. That's Jamari Williams, who we talked about. And look right near the free throw line. Settles up outside the circle. Jamari Williams now into the hands of Brandon Adams. Adams now back to Green. Green now back to Williams. Williams up the middle, still pressure by 2. Millbrook gives him a fit. Ball comes out, got it back. Thomas up the middle, send it off to Adams. Can he get there? No. Rebound, Millbrook. Took about 20, 30 seconds, Josh, off the clock, and you couldn't even get a basket.
That was a great defensive possession for Millbrook.
Another shot for a 3 comes up, no good, but it is Mitchell Watson, the forward to get, or the guard to get the rebound back, get it back into the hands of Alonzo Hester. The senior guard watches along, heading to the midway point of the first period of this game here in Raleigh. Right down Knightdale Knights leading by 4. No score, Millbrook, or will that change? Attempt by Joshua Bowen for 3, no good. Rebound, scoops up with it, comes up with it. Is this Connie? I think he's fouled.
And Josh Connie, one of the star sophomores for Millbrook, battling down low, being physical. Well, this shot goes up. Long rebound. There's Conti just bulldozing his way through, one-armed rebound, and gets the foul.
Yeah, and only a sophomore, but absolutely no fear. That's going to be a fun matchup to watch.
1 foul each, 1 foul apiece here. Non-shooting foul. And finally, Millbrook on the board. Josh Connie, the sophomore forward, to the right of the net, found it there, and they're finally got a 3-pointer. Of course, that's presented by Original Grills. Free throw, elevate your grill game.
For Conti stepping out, that's a huge shot to stretch out the defense as Knightdale comes back with a nice backdoor cut by Stephen Murray, knocking it in.
And right now, it is a 6-2 score. Knightdale up by 4. There's a whistle after the basket. We'll take a break. More coverage from Raleigh as the Riddle and Riddle High School Hoops presented by Crossroads Ford of Fuquay Arena continues after this. Still plenty of basketball left to go here with this 4-point lead between Knightdale and Millbrook. Welcome back to coverage of the Riddle and Riddle High School Hoops presented by Crossroads Ford of Fuquay Arena on my RDC 28. I'm Wesley Outland, Jason Halter, Josh Powell alongside. And at the free throw line presented by Original Grills is number 24 for the Knights. And that, of course, was Stephen Murray, the Ford. He got fouled before we went to a TV timeout and, of course, able to make a free throw out of it. Elevate your grill game. And now a triple. A Crossroads Ford of Fuquay Arena three-pointer by Isaiah Green.
This defense for Knightdale starting to take over, and Antonio Watson's team really turning up the pressure. And on the offensive end, they've been efficient shooting the basketball and off to a hot start.
That three-pointer presented by Crossroads Ford of Fuquay Arena, the Ford store that gives you more.
And for Ashton King, he's got to take over for the Wildcats, and he's their best scorer and quick move to the inside, just finding a way to get into the lane and get to the line where he's so good from the free throw line.
We're going to send the Original Grills free throw to the line for the first time for Millbrook now as Ashton King, the senior guard, will go to the line. He'll make his first free throw. Joshua, they're struggling on scoring right now. Still down by 7, but a lot of basketball left to go in the first.
Well, you see just how good Knightdale's game plan is on defense here, but they're best when he's attacking. He needs to keep attacking, and got to the free throw line there. Worked out well.
And Ashton King, 2 for 2 on free throws. And, of course, now only down by 6. Get a couple of big three balls from Knightdale there, Jay, and you're right back in this game again. From Millbrook.
Well, an excellent take, and Sam Thomas is a 4-year player in the program, plays football. He's a college prospect, using his quickness to get to the hoop.
A turnover. Sam Thomas gets it to Jamari Williams. He'll finish and find the basket again.
Now those two working as a tandem with the defense leading to offense, and this pressure is really helping out Knightdale speed up the pace in this game.
Couple of bodies collide. That's number 4, Jeremiah Bates, in to number 1 of Isaiah Green. Here's a replay presented by Air Experts. And watch this contact here, Jay.
Yeah, and Knightdale just playing so physical, and that ball will stay with the Wildcats.
And you see how animated Coach Antonio Watson is over there. It's like he's playing defense with them. He's so energetic, and the team really feeds off of that.
Yeah, Josh, they play with his energy, and he was a former star player in high school and college. Now as a coach, he relates well to this team, and they really play at an elite level for him.
He would lace him up if he could.
That's Coach Antonio Watson. And actually, he does lace them up with them guys during practices. Off the leg of Thomas. It's going to be last touch by the Knights. It'll be Millbrook Wildcats basketball, as we're still talking about Coach Antonio Watson. Very animated coach, and I like that. I like that lively spirit. As right now, the inbound pass goes from Marcel Gray. Gray to Hester. Hester now looking around the wing, finding King. King now back to Gray again. Gray on the circle, back to Hester. Hester now sends it up to Ashton King. Ashton King got that free throw earlier, 2 for 2. Let's see what we can do now for 3. No good. Marcel Gray had a shot, couldn't finish.
Mitchell Watson coming through with the putback. Knightdale did not box out. That's a good work from Watson, just crashing the glass, getting 2 points in, and that's what Millbrook has to do to get back in this ballgame. The little things, great turnovers, crash the board.
And a turnover by Knightdale. Here comes Millbrook up the court now, but King right in front of the bench of Watson and Knightdale. As the Millbrook sideline coming quite lively, and now Knightdale as well, Jay. They are going to say it was last touch by Millbrook. Knightdale Knights will have possession. Jamari Williams. Williams moving up the middle to the basket, finds the net, it's in and good.
Williams is leading the East in assists. So right now he's off to a hot start, shooting ball, getting to the basket.
That's Jamari Williams. That's now number 10 for Millbrook, Ashton King. Boy, he's got 3-4 defenders all around him. You knew a foul was coming.
Well, and for King, he's just got to take over. Good job being physical as King drives in, gets triple teamed. All the attention's on him, and somehow he splits it to get to the line.
A replay presented by Air Experts, heated in air, and now elevate your grill game at the free throw line, of course, is number 10, Ashton King. He is now 3 for 3 at the free throw line now.
And you have to be careful putting him on the line too much. You have to be careful, play solid defense, and not get into foul trouble, because if he goes to the line, most likely he's going to knock him down.
Zarian Williams coming in on sub for Knightdale, and he's 4 for 4 now from the original Grills free throw. Got it going on. Elevates your game, Mr. Ashton King. Want to make those points at the charity stripe where the clock ain't running, Jay. He's doing that.
Yeah, he's one of the best scorers in the state. And whatever it takes, he'll find a way, whether that's shooting the ball, getting to the line, helping out his team in any way possible. And that's what makes him a college prospect and someone that's got a bright future at the next level.
About to approach the first minute remaining here in the opening period, and that basket by Knightdale again by Brandon Adams. Smooth transition. Now we give it back to Millbrook. Ashton King with the rock, moving through center circle now. Under pressure, looking on, gets it now back to Bowen. Bowen now back to King. King got to open the lane. Will he go for it? He drops to the ground, saves the ball for Millbrook to Josh Connie. Josh Connie in the hands of Bowen. Bowen now gets it back to Alonzo Hester. Correction, that's actually Joshua Bowen again. Hester did have a hand on it, but they turn it right back over to Millbrook, and now here comes Knightdale. Knightdale shot for 3, no good. Touch on the ball. He's going to come up with it, number 4, Jeremiah Bates.
And for Millbrook, where you got to go on a run here. Got under 10 seconds to get off this shot.
And they will not make it as the clock will stop with 4.6 seconds remaining.
So moving pick, as Knightdale is going to have time to get off one more shot. And Antonio Watson and his team has to be pleased with this start. They've come out here on the defensive end and being efficient on offense.
Sam Thomas to Williams. Shot for 3. Off the glass. Will not fall. That is the end of the first period. What a game. 18-8 right now. 18-8 as the first 8 minutes are in the books. Still a lot of basketball left to go on my RDC 28. The Riddle High School Hoops. We're back in a moment in Raleigh. Oh, we got a good one in Raleigh right now. It's only a 10-point lead between the visiting Knightdale Knights and Millbrook Wildcats. 18-8. Wesley Outland, Jason Hunter, Josh Powell. Josh, what's your take of the first 8 minutes of the game as we start the second?
Well, it started out really fast. Both teams wanted to try to impose their will on the game, figure out the momentum, and they both did a good job slowing down, picking their shots, and the defensive effort is really there. These guys aren't out of breath yet, but we'll see how it goes.
Last whistle was a traveling call on Knightdale. Give possession now back to Millbrook. Jay, your take of the first 8 minutes.
Well, I think both teams starting to get into a feel of the ball game. It's a quick pace. For Millbrook, they've got to set the pace and set the tempo, protect the basketball, and hit outside shots. That's the second long-range 2 from Josh Connie. They've got to get him going. Only a sophomore, one of the best in the state.
Yeah, the sophomore forward, Josh Connie, finding the net for another 2 points. Cut the lead down to 8 now. Jamel Perry goes back to Williams. Williams and a shot for 3. Will they call it for 2? Actually, they're going to say it's a 2-point shot.
Isaiah Green showing his range, stepping out, stretching the defense, and Knightdale coming back in their zone pressure, trying to create havoc.
We're going to say right now that that was a Crossroads Ford of Fuquay-Varina 3-pointer, the Ford store that gives you more. And there's another 3. Back-to-back 3-pointers. Thanks again.
Josh
Crossroads Ford.
Yeah, Josh Bowen. That's his specialty, is long-range shot. They've got to get him going, one of the top scorers on the team.
Falling short of the net, Zarian Williams. Williams then the rebound. Give it back to Knightdale. Almost looked like it was going to lodge the ball to the right of the basket. Give it now back to Millbrook. Millbrook, number 2, Joshua Bowen. Bowen now inside. Going to number 4. Shot for 3. No good by Jeremiah Bates. As we watch on here. And you know, two of these teams back and forth, they start throwing the 3 ball, going for them 3-pointers. You start getting like a little rivalry going here, Jay, and you'll see them start making these moves back and forth on the court.
I think the biggest thing is both teams have to read the defense. If the 3 ball is there, go ahead and take it. But if they are stretching out and closing out hard, you've got to take those driving lanes. And each side switching things up, going from man-to-man to zone defense.
21-13, 8-point lead for the Knights. They're on the road, by the way. They're 1-1 in conference play. Millbrook is 2-0. This is an important game. This is the opening game in their series. And that Cat-Nat standings. Shot for 3. He made that one perfect. Isaiah Green, the guard. There's another Crossroads Ford, a few Quaverina 3-pointer. He drained the bucket.
Yeah, he's heating up and averages over 18 points per game. Gotten off to a really good start.
The Ford store that gives you more. And Isaiah Green adding more points on for Knightdale. 24-13 right now. Second period, first half action here in Raleigh. Under 5 minutes remaining now. And this game going back and forth, Josh.
And Knightdale's showing a really good job of staying patient on offense, figuring out where the shot is, not rushing anything. And Millbrook's trying to get in there and attack.
Isaiah Green to Williams. Williams now back to Adams. And I'll tell you what, Jay, just kind of right now, if you're Knightdale, we're kind of seeing this slow the clock down. We're seeing this transition happening right now. They're not rushing to the basket. Try to make a couple of plays, knock 10 or 12, 15 seconds off the clock, and then they went to the net. Came up short was Perry, but then they get possession back and hold on to it. And there you finish with a big 3, Jamel Perry. The guard, another Crossroads Ford, a few Quaverina 3-pointer.
Jamel Perry, only a sophomore. He's their star quarterback out on the football field, making an impact. And this offense stretching the floor. I like their spacing to create lanes and make it difficult on the defense to defend. And for Millbrook, guys, they've got to find a way to, first of all, protect the basketball. Too many turnovers for the Wildcats. But they've got to get hot shooting from the outside. Josh Connie has gotten off to a good start. Now he's going over to the bench to take a break. But I think Ashton King and Joshua Bowen have to take over and start producing some points to get them back in the game.
Knightdale up 27-13 on Millbrook as we head to the midway point of the second period. The Knights right now in command. It's going to be Walker. Walker now. Shoot for 3, a long 3. No good on that attempt by Bowen. Finishing with a basket and 1 is Blake Walker. A basket and 1. 27-15, a foul. Basket and 1, Blake Walker's gonna go to the line at the Original Grills free throw when we come back from Raleigh. Coming up at the half, the Tatum and Atkinson Scholar Athlete of the Week. Of course, presented by Tatum and Atkinson, injured in a car wreck. Call the heavy hitters. Back in Raleigh, 27-15 with under 4 minutes left to go here in the first half. When we went to TV timeout, we saw a basket and 1 by Blake Walker. The Wildcat will go now to the Original Grills free throw line.
And for Millbrook now, you've got to create some turnovers. Your man-to-man defense does such a good job closing off lanes as they do it here. They create that turnover. Good job by Ashton King coming over.
Got to pressure him. And then there's a whistle. Bodies on the floor. That's Ashton King. By the way, that free throw presented by Original Grills. Elevate your grill game. And here is that fight right there at the center circle.
Sam Thomas coming over as King's trying to get it up the floor. Good job just laying it out. down on the court, and the ball goes back to the Knights.
Replay presented by Riddle and Brantley.
And Knightdale finishing at the hoop with an and one.
That's Zarian Williams, and that's what you have to do, right? We get ready for another replay. Watch this. I was kind of in awe myself, Jay. It happened so fast. Basket and one as Blake Walker was giving him pressure.
And Williams, 6'7", and using his height down low to control the paint area.
Ashton King shot for three. No good. Rebound scooped up by Zarian Williams. Williams last time was the man that put it in the net. This time it is blocked, taken away. Millbrook up the middle. Ball falls, rolls. Last touched by Millbrook. It'll go to Knightdale.
And Millbrook just trying to find a way to get into rhythm. And this pressure affecting them with the turnovers. And Christopher Davis has confidence in his team to get their pace. But right now, that pressure is just creating his team to play a little bit too fast.
Yeah, Knightdale's found the three ball. They've gotten it inside, and they've been stingy on defense. So Millbrook just trying to figure it out right now.
Xavier Lange in now for the Knightdale Knights, the guard senior. And he's going to go for three, and he got it. I told you, keep an eye on number 5. In our pre-production meeting, Jay, I was telling you how talented this player was. He gets a Crossroads Ford a few Quaver Arena three-pointer right off the bench.
And good response from Millbrook. These are both deep teams, and they go to their rotation. Very talented. Lange, outstanding long-range shooter. Look at the spacing for Knightdale. Clear pass for driving lanes, but forcing this defense to come out and pressure.
Lange now back to Green. Green turns the ball over. Millbrook now. Alonzo Hester, one man to beat. Ball rolls under the baseline. Xavier Lange on the floor. They'll say it will continue to be Millbrook basketball.
And that was King causing havoc on defense. We talked about how much of a competitor he is. I mean, he is everywhere on offense. He's everywhere on defense.
Both teams playing so hard. The intensity in this ball game is at such a high level. And that's what you'd expect from two dominant programs.
Bowen now back to King. King to Bowen. Nice basket there. He'll put it in for two. Ashton King.
He makes it look easy. He is a natural scorer. They've got to get him going as he's cheering on his teammates after knocking that one down.
And now back to Thomas for Knightdale. Looks for Lange from the handoff from Green under the basket right there, 21. Zarian Williams will finish it. Jay, that was 4 out of 5 players for Knightdale that had their hand on the rock before the score went in.
Unselfish, quick passes that put so much stress on a defense.
Mitchell Watson on the rebound, bounces off the body of Thomas. Thomas comes up with it. Thomas to Lange. Lange going inside, looking for Lange again. Back to 21 of Williams. Someone get a hand on it. It's Evan Dean, and he'll get the rebound here.
And for Millbrook, this is the time you want to go on a run, get some momentum going into the halftime break.
Under a minute left to go here. Looking now, basket, and it is in for Josh Conti. That's the sophomore forward. What a shot there, Josh.
That's such a luxury when you have a big that can go outside and have range like that. It just makes it puts so much pressure on the defense.
34-21. Nearing halftime here. Another whistle.
It's like we have a moving pick again.
Hey, don't forget, stay tuned for the Air Experts Heating and Cooling and Plumbing High School Hoops halftime report. We'll have her first half highlights and so much more from the Air Experts. Schedule your tune-up today at airexperts.com. That's coming up at the half.
This is Ashton King time. 27 seconds left. I think he's got to look for this final shot.
You got to get baskets, though, right? I mean, you need to. You're in a big deficit right now. It's not that bad of a hole, but continuously seeing Knightdale rack up points here. Evan Dean. Dean now to King. Under the net. Basket and one. He's fouled. Number 33, the forward, Josh Connie, and he's going to the original Grills free throw line.
Christopher Davis, the coaching staff and the players over on the sideline erupt after this play. No-look pass from King down to Conti, who's been so effective down in the paint area, finishing for the and one. And this is where the Wildcats, you've got to go on a run going into the break, doing a nice job managing that possession.
Going for that three-point play the old-fashioned way, and Conti will prevail. It is now Knightdale ball with 7.4 seconds left until halftime. Another whistle right in front of our broadcast position here. And you see the smile on his face. I think they're going to call it on King here, Jay.
Yeah, he was wanting to play through that, just being physical.
Now remember, it's not a non-shooting foul. They still got fouls to give till we get to 5 in the double bonus.
As Green drives up, they're just battling for position. Just a little nudge. King disagrees with the call.
No way close. Jamari Williams made a big shot for a three. It did not fall. And that is halftime. Coming up, Air Experts at the half. And right now, it is a good one, 34-24 here in Raleigh. Millbrook only down by 10, and they got a lot of basketball left to go here.
You're watching the Air Experts High School Hoops Halftime Report. Air Experts Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. Schedule your tune-up today at yourairexperts.com. Tatum and Atkinson is proud to present the WRDC Sports High School Hoops Tatum and Atkinson Scholar Athlete of the Week. From Knightdale High School, the Tatum and Atkinson Scholar Athlete of the Week is Xavier Lange. Xavier is a 2-year basketball team captain, is a member of National Honor Society, and carries a 4.33 GPA. Xavier is academic all-conference, is a recipient of the All-Conference Sportsmanship Award, is a peer tutor, and serves the community through his church and through youth basketball. From Millbrook High School, the Tatum and Atkinson Scholar Athlete of the Week is Joshua Bowen. Joshua is a basketball team captain, is a recipient of the Football Team Outstanding Achievement Award, and carries a 3.4 GPA. Joshua is a member of National Achiever Society, is academic all-conference, and is a Miracle League volunteer.
This All-Star is now entered for a $3,000 scholarship at the end of the season. Congratulations to our Tatum and Atkinson Scholar Athlete of the Week.
Tatum and Atkinson. Injured in a wreck? Call the heavy hitters.
Welcome back, and now some high school basketball highlights from around the country from last week.
Here are the best high school hoops plays from across the country.
McRae trying to get in the mix. A little long. Oh, there's Taylor soaring down the lane. Timing it pristinely. Broughton by 9. Those rebounds.
They have to rebound, but up and away! It's showtime in Montour. Take a look. This guy is electric. Oh, my blessings.
It's right there. Oh, that's a Bradford. Block. Mason Young's got the hop. I tell you, this kid gets off the floor. He got a swimmer. Quick. Blake Wilson with great hands in the basket. Pass by Cromer. Riverbluff's got it going on both ends of the floor.
Madison, the pull-up. And he got it. And wow. Wow.
Oh, nice pass. They didn't get back. A.A. Bill got to get up to get down. They went to sleep on defense. And Bill cut him.
You're watching the Air Experts High School Hoops Halftime Report. Air Experts Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. Schedule your tune-up today at yourairexperts.com.
It is a 10-point lead for the visiting Knightdale Knights on top of the hometown Millbrook Wildcats as we continue Air Experts Raleigh heated and air at the half. Jason Halter, Josh Powell, I'm Wesley Outland. Jay, still a lot of basketball left to go here, but let's see some of the highlights of the first half because this game is still too close to call.
But Knightdale came out strong on the offensive end, scoring in the paint. It was really their defense that led the way to create easy opportunities on the offensive end. They were scrapping for the ball, getting everything that was contested, and then they started to heat up from beyond the three-point line. Isaiah Green knocked down a couple triples that loosened things up as Millbrook's defense was trying to find a way to slow down their offense.
That's right, and they found it from the outside and the inside, but Millbrook, they did a great job of keeping the game close. We got a 10-point lead right here, and you see him knocking down the big shot right there. They went into halftime with a big momentum swing, and we'll see if that'll carry them into the second half.
Yeah, they really did a good job closing out the half. They started hitting their outside shot. The latter part of that second quarter, Joshua Bowen, Ashton King, Josh Conti started to knock him in, and then they found a way to get a couple and ones to get to the halftime break, only down 10 points.
You look at Knightdale, 14 of 26 in field goals. Millbrook, 9 of 21. Definitely seeing a lot more in the latter towards Knightdale being very improved. The best thing I'm seeing for Millbrook statistically is free throws.
Yeah, and for Millbrook, you just got to create more turnovers, turn up the pressure on the defensive end, hope that'll lead to offense.
Should be a fun second half. Millbrook only down by 10, the third period when we come back from Raleigh. Stay with us. Ready to start third period action here as we continue coverage of the Riddle and Riddle High School Hoops presented by Crossroads Ford of Fuquay Arena. Wesley, Jay, and Josh here with you. Ready to bring it to you. Let's see what happens now. If you're Millbrook, you got to find the basket, Jay, and you got to find it in a hurry. You're right in front of your respective bench as well to start the third period.
I think for both teams, the first 5 minutes coming out of the halftime break will be huge as Christopher Davis looks on to his team. They're going to press Knightdale, try to create some turnovers, and they are so good on the defensive end, but they've got to start to create opportunities and really help create a spark on their offensive side.
Yeah, but you know, Josh, just as soon as Millbrook got a chance to get their hand on the rock, they turn it right back over and give it back to Knightdale.
That's
Jabari
right.
Williams. Shot for three, no good by Adams, you were saying, Josh.
That's right, but you love to see them pushing it, just like this. You love to see them going down the lane and pushing it. And those will fall eventually. If they don't fall, they'll get to the free throw line.
Ashton King unable to put the ball in the net. The rebound goes right back to Knightdale again. It's going back and forth, topsy-turvy. Let's see now what Sam Thomas will be able to do. We're in the third period. Still plenty of basketball left to go here in Raleigh. A lot of schools, a lot of counties unable to perform athletics after schools because of the weather, with Winter Storm Enzo's hitting all over the mid-Atlantic, the southeast, the deep south, from Louisiana, Texas, all the way to the Carolinas. But we're so glad we're able to bring this one to you here. It's right down Knightdale, 36, Millbrook 24, trying to find a way to get out of the cellar, Jay.
And Stephen Murray with the bucket on the opposite end, and now Millbrook slowing down the pace as Knightdale extends the pressure.
I just don't know if that's a good idea, right? I mean, you need to find baskets. You got to find it in a hurry. As Mitchell Watson, the senior guard, will get to the net and get two.
That was a nice job breaking through the pressure as the double team's coming over. The Wildcats eluded that pressure, moving the ball to the center of the court.
Sam Thomas up the middle, fumble, get it back, got it back in the hands of Brandon Adams. Adams now back to Thomas. Thomas now watches on with now Isaiah Green. We talked about what a star player, one of the star players to watch as he goes up the middle. Isaiah Green, basket and one. He's gonna go to the Original Grills free throw line. That's brought to you by Original Grills. Elevate your grill game, and look at the elevation for him to get that foul draw.
Just an amazing play from Green and the ability to hang in the air, but keep your focus. He put that spin on the ball to knock it in for the and one, and he's a Division I prospect. Antonio Watson talks so highly about the person and the player, and Green taking over here in the third quarter.
By the way, we want to send also some love to the Millbrook coach, Coach White, celebrating his 40th birthday today. He said there would be no place he'd rather be than right here coaching the Millbrook Wildcats as an assistant. Big 40, shot for three. Well, there you go. Jamari Williams gets a Crossroads Ford, a Fuquay Arena three-pointer. The Ford store that gives you more. Another big three. Knightdale filling it in Raleigh. And they're leading it right now with still a lot to go in the third. (42-26). Knightdale still in the lead as we go to around 5.5 minutes left in the third period. Welcome back to our coverage of high school hoops by RDC. And Jay, we're getting treated to a good one here tonight.
Yeah, both teams really playing at a high level. And for Millbrook right now, trying to find a way to get this back into single digits. I've been so impressed by Knightdale's ability to knock down their long-range shot on the defensive end, as well as Christopher Davis going over his offensive set with his team as Ashton King inbounded this ball. He really finished off the first half in a strong way.
And now another steal. Took it away from Bowen. Jamari Williams, and Williams with possession now. Has it back to Zarian Williams. Williams up the middle. Give it now to zero. Sam Thomas. He'll finish, Josh, and he'll put it in the net, my friend.
And Knightdale is just relentless right now. I mean, they're just almost hitting everything. They're on fire. Millbrook has to find a way to stop them.
You're looking at three-pointers. You're looking at the free throws, under the baseline, under the paint. Somehow, some way, Jay, Millbrook is trying to get a basket. They finally get one in. That's number one of Alonzo Hester to finally find the net. But if you're Millbrook right now, you're in quicksand if you're dealing with Knightdale here.
Well, you just want to continue to attack. And Alonzo Hester quickly getting into the lane. A good mid-range jumper, averages 10 points per game as Ashton King is going to look to create.
Up in the air, basket will fall, had two-man pressure for Knightdale, and he still was able to find a way to put it in the net. And now we get it back to Sam Thomas. Sam Thomas now hands it to Williams. Williams from Thomas, shot for three. Oh, it rolls in and out as it was actually going to be called for two. He stepped over the line. It's still no good. 44-30. Desperation now as you're heading towards the midway point. You want to try to cut this gap that you're under right now, Jay. Right now, you want to try to find a way to get back in this and at least be down by at least 6 going into the fourth period.
And for Millbrook, it's just trying to get into a rhythm as Knightdale changing up the pace on the defensive end and now on offense. Again, spreading the floor, taking their time, and choosing when to attack.
That's Isaiah Green as he goes up the middle. Ball will not fall. Rebound picked up by Stephen Murray, or will it? No. Millbrook comes up with it. That's Alonzo Hester. Hester now back to Ashton King. Ashton King up now, boxed by 2. And Josh, they just cannot seem a way to get Millbrook to find the net here.
They just got to keep grinding. They got to keep out-physicaling them. And that's a good start. That's a great way to start. You get it inside, you grind it down, you finish in the paint, and when you're playing against a great offense, sometimes you just need to find a way to score and match.
And Conti's played really well tonight, picking his spots. And now Knightdale, again, it just seems like there's been a counterpunch. Each time Millbrook finds a way, they come back and slow down any momentum.
That was Stephen Murray, by the way, that found the net. Another basket. Here comes now Millbrook. That's going to be Alonzo Hester. Hester now with King watching on. King now settles into Bowen. Bowen now shot for 3, number 21. That's Watson. On the far side, there's a whistle. There's Coach Christopher Davis looking on, and this is not what you want to do at your home stadium tonight, Jay. Right now, you've got to find a way to get back in this game in a big hurry.
Well, and both teams are so talented, and we figure that deep playoff runs in the future, but these two are going to be battling for the conference title in the next 6 as another long-range shot goes in for Sam Thomas.
That's another Crossroads Ford if you play for Arena three-pointer. The Ford store that gives you more. And now Millbrook trying to return the favor. They just can't get the ball in the cylinder. 49-32 up the middle. Well, a little arc slant shot by Hester will not fall. There is a whistle, though.
And this is really tough. When there are just shots that you usually hit, you usually knock down, you just can't get in a rhythm. And but they're going to keep grinding it out. This is a gritty team, so they're going to keep plugging away.
Millbrook, of course, is the home of the back-to-back Northern Atlantic Conference champions and the 2021 North Carolina High School 4A state champions. Really good squad this season right now. Millbrook 7-9, 2-0 in conference play. Knightdale Knights are 9-6 and 1-1 in conference. Shot for three, and got it. Finally, some life by Millbrook by Evan Dean. A Crossroads Ford of Fuquay three-pointer. The Ford store that gives you more.
And Dean is a shooter. A smooth stroke from the outside. You could feel the energy as he knocked that in. These fans want to get back into this ball game. That's a good start for the Wildcats.
That's huge. A big play in front of your bench. Get everybody into it. The crowd goes crazy. That's enough to swing some momentum.
Looks like there's a timeout on the floor. It's going to be called against the Knightdale Knights. Let's take a look here at this Crossroads Ford to the Fuquay Arena replay. The big three-point shot. Could this be the thing that gives a renewed vigor to the Wildcats? What a triple.
But a good job there. Conti gets the rebound, quickly gets the ball up to Ashton King, and then he saw Evan Dean on the sideline, ready to shoot, pass it up, and complimentary basketball for the Wildcats is how they're going to have to finish out this third quarter, going into the fourth quarter, again, gaining momentum. But that's a good shot from the outside. When Knightdale is sagging inside and there's room to operate from beyond the three-point line, the Wildcats are going to take that shot every time.
Remember, I kind of hinted on it to our audience that you want to try to be within 6 to 8 points back, Josh, and right now 49-35 as this timeout is going on, and you literally know that Coach Davis is telling them, guys, get back in this thing. You're here at home. You got TV. This is a big matchup here. It's a conference matchup as well.
And knocking down a big shot like that, it can do so much for you, so much for your team. Just getting one big shot to go down, it can do so much for your psyche. So we'll look for them to just continue to push it. They're still going to attack. Hopefully they can get some more outside shots here and cut it down.
You know, Jay, as one of my longtime friends and colleagues, Kim Winslow, always says momentum is a funny thing, and it can shift after what we saw with Evan Dean hitting a triple. Will he be able to capitalize on this and give some momentum back to Millbrook? We'll see now as we're closing in on a minute left to go here in the third period. And, Jay, if you're Knightdale, you just want to run the clock out right now. You're not rushing to the basket. Take about 10 seconds off the clock. They did that, and then the nail in the dagger is Brandon Adams finds the basket and scores.
Well, I think for Knightdale, as they continue to press, it's all about getting out on the run, and as Isaiah Green's going to go to the line, their defense has been the foundation tonight. And on the offensive end, knowing when to pick their spots, knowing when to attack. Between Green and Ashton King, which we highlighted both in the open. Those two have put on a show as Green got the initial steal, tipped it over as Jamari Williams looked back to find Green hustling down the floor.
This will send number one, Isaiah Green, the senior guard, to the line. That's the original Grills free throw. Elevate your grill game.
And how the play before, how incredible is it to have a guy like Adams who's 6'8", and he can drive into the lane from the three-point line and finish at the rim. Such a luxury for a team.
Green ready to go for another free throw. It'll fall in the net. Knightdale just continuing to rack on the points. 52-35 as we near the end of the third period here in our high school hoops coverage from Raleigh. On a cold January night, a lot of people snowed in, unable to go to schools. A lot of athletics not happening, but we're bringing this one to you here. Down to under 30 seconds, and right now Millbrook couldn't find the net, Jay, and right now Knightdale's going to just try to go for another shot for another three. No one home, ball out of play. Last touch by Millbrook. Knightdale will have possession.
And still plenty of time here on the clock. Antonio Watson talking to his team. Biggest thing is secure the basketball, no turnovers on this possession, but use the time to make sure you take the last shot.
Under 20 seconds remaining. Green. And there's a whistle. They got to call a timeout. Coach for Knightdale. That is Antonio Watson. He will call for a timeout. Knightdale's up right now, Jay. What is the coach saying to them right now?
Yeah, well, Coach Watson right now setting up the play here, making sure everybody knows, hey, 19 seconds, let's use some clock, making sure they're spacing and they set up how they want to attack, which I think is with Williams and Green going downhill, drive and kick, but try to do a pick and roll to put pressure on this defense.
52-35. Josh, could we see live from Millbrook? Can they get back in this game? I mean, they're not down by many points.
Well, we know
the clock goes off again. We've seen that happen a couple of times, but it quickly resets back to 19 seconds.
Well, we know they have big-time competitors. They can go on a run at any given point. So Knightdale has to be careful because when teams are playing desperate, there's a good chance that they can really go on a run and have a big quarter. So we'll see how that goes.
There's Antonio Watson, star player in high school and in college. And
yeah,
now what a job he has done with this program in his second year. One of the top teams in the state. You watch the way they play.
There's number 5.
So much emotion.
Yeah, there's number 24 of Stephen Murray at the line. Our original grills free throw. Elevate your grill game. I think I'm going to eat that for dinner tonight.
Sounds good.
We talked about also number 5 in the background, Xavier Lange, one of the Scholar Athletes of the Week. What a talented player. I know him from Clayton. Spending his senior year now at Knightdale, and what a talented three-point shooter. Basket. No, they're going to call no basket, and I think a foul is 24. Stephen Murray might be going to the line here. Here's a replay coming up. Look at this.
Ashton King drives, breaks down the defense, and goes into the body of Murray to get to the line. And he is such a skilled driver of the basketball. He's outstanding ball handler.
Murray was the guilty party. Thank you, Jay. Stephen Murray was the guilty party. And Ashton King going to the free throw line. And we saw the statistics of the first half of the game, and a lot of these free throws were done by King in 10. Another flawless effort at the free throw line. They're in the bonus now. Knightdale is in the double bonus, meaning they would two-shot foul the rest of the way. However, they do reset for each period. Shot for 3. Attempt by Jamari Williams. No good. Basket. And it is the third period. 52-37. There's 8 minutes left to go in Raleigh. Knightdale 52. Millbrook, the home squad. They got to come back. Look at Isaiah Green up the middle for the Knights. He's turning up the heat. Look at this shot by Williams. Can they keep that momentum going? We'll find out next. (52-37). 8 minutes left to go here as we start the fourth and final period of regulation. Jason Halter, Josh Powell, I'm Wesley Outland. Xavier Lange in front of our broadcast position, inbounds it. Last touch by Millbrook. Millbrook will have to try to get on defense on Knightdale again here.
Yeah, and guys, we've had a great game, and what a night of basketball with earlier on in our coverage, the women's game, a close ball game between Knightdale and Millbrook. Dan Courtwright and Martin Faison, the coaches, and 2 great squads with 14 wins for Knightdale, 9 for Millbrook. Micah Jones, a star player from Millbrook. So we saw a great finish in that ball game, and now I think we're going to have an excellent fourth quarter. Now Millbrook has to get on fire quickly here to bite into this lead.
Stephen Murray stepped out of bounds. Gives possession back to Millbrook. And Josh, if you're the Wildcats, you cannot waste no time right now. You got to find the net. You got to find it in a hurry.
Well, when you have a player like Ashton King, I mean, how down are you really? That's the big problem for Knightdale, is to stop Ashton King. If he gets on fire, this could turn quick.
Sam Thomas to Murray. And it's going to be Stephen Murray to come back and put it in the net. 54-37. We're in the fourth period here in Raleigh. Here goes King. King now back to Walker. And they let it touch and fall. Come up with it's going to be the Wildcats. Alonzo Hester. Hester now back to King. King under pressure by Isaiah Green. And the shot for 3. No good. Rebound scooped up by Green there, Jay.
And the defense for Knightdale continuing to attack, double team, and they've looked tonight when to push, when to pull the ball back out. They saw numbers there. They got the ball quickly up for another transition bucket.
And another chance for a three. Arched to the front of the cylinder that time, and it's no good. 56-39. And the clock is just quickly fading away there, Josh. And they're not getting baskets if you're the Wildcats.
You know, Knightdale just does a great job on defense of staying long. They just get so long, and it makes it so hard to find any lanes to shoot, to drive. It's hard right now for Millbrook.
And as Knightdale continues to work on the offensive end, they get to the line, and it's because of their driving ability, going into the body of the Wildcats and just picking their spots.
Stephen Murray back at the free throw line, the original Grills free throw. Elevate your grill game. Visit one of those great locations around you in the area. 56-39 is Stephen Murray trying to add on some more points. First free throw did not fall. Second one up. He'll find that net. 57-37. 57-37. And all right now, Jay, you're down by 20.
Well, for Millbrook right now, it's got to be about quick buckets. You don't have to live exclusively beyond the three-point line. You just need to attack, try to get to the line, and then your defense is going to have to take over. You've got to get a run, but it's got to be on the defensive side, creating turnovers. And on offense, again, whether it's a 2 or 3, you have to go quickly.
And we're watching Coach Antonio Watson for Knightdale. He's telling them, don't become, don't get lazy, right? Don't start making mistakes, because if Knightdale does this, Josh, you could literally get Millbrook right back in the game. Quickly, 20 points could fade away.
It's true.
Now we see Thomas up the middle.
And you see they're still attacking. And there you go. There's another basket inside. They're not one to slow down. They just attack. And that's Antonio Watson's strategy.
That was Thomas to Green, and then Stephen Murray finding another 2. 59-37. Up the middle, Joshua Bowen. He hits the ground hard. Whistle's called here. Stephen Murray, a little exchange, and they're trying to kind of separate the two here, Jay.
As Bowen driving into the hoop, he is such a hard worker. Got fouled up on the head, like an elbow. Good to see him pop up, but he is, he hit his head, but he is a tough physical player. He's been in this program and been a star player for Christopher Davis, and one of the hardest workers. Shoots 500 jump shots or more every single day, trying to improve his game. He's a college prospect and somebody that's really had a great senior season.
Also our scholar athlete, so he's just a well-rounded kid altogether.
Yeah, absolutely talented scholar athlete. Joshua Bowen for Millbrook and Xavier Lange for Knightdale is now Coach Christopher Davis of the Wildcats, a state champion head coach, looks on and tries to figure out what can we do to get back in this home game here. Right now, it just ain't working. Free throws ain't working. Three-pointers ain't working. Going for the layups aren't working. Right now, you've got to find a way to climb out of this hole that they're in. 59-38 with now under 5 minutes left in regulation, Jay.
Well, they're one of the most explosive teams in the area and the state, and they can score in a hurry. And Ashton King has to be the catalyst. They've got to look towards number 10.
No one home that time as Ashton King couldn't even get the ball over from the free throw line. 5 minutes left to go in regulation. As Thomas goes up the middle. This time the 22 of Adams. Adams turns it over, give it back to Millbrook. Nice crossover as Bowen drives the lane. He'll draw a foul. And this will send Bowen to the line again to shoot 2.
And Bowen plays with such pace, knowing and feeling where the defense is and how to drive and when to take it outside and leads the break behind the back. Good job, wow. And goes into the body to get the foul.
That was Xavier Lange right there all over Bowen, and it is a non-shooting foul. My apologies, a non-shooting foul, so they will inbound it. Millbrook holds on to possession. That's the send-off from Bates to King. King up the middle by 2, and the ball will fall. And this is what you need right here now, Jay.
He's a scorer. Saw the lane attacked, and now the Wildcats have to turn up the pressure on defense.
59-40. It looks like they're asking for possibly the score to be checked. Coach Christopher Davis. I'm not sure what just happened here, guys. We're showing the coach, and I don't think the coach liked what happened either. They turned the ball over and give it right back down to Knightdale here, Jay.
Knightdale just continue to go, playing their game. Isaiah Green, who's been outstanding tonight. You look at his game, his outside shooting ability, the way he gets to the hoop with his athleticism and length. He's the guy that's on the radar of colleges, a Division I prospect, and he's really played at a high level.
Ashton King called for the foul. Isaiah Green at the free throw line. The original Grills free throw, reminding you to elevate your grill game.
And it's been great to see King and Green go back and forth. They're such competitors. They both get after it on the defense. And we just saw recently Green block a shot from King, and then King came back, tried to block his shot, got called for a foul. It's a great matchup.
So we saw Green go to the free throw line, did well for Knightdale. It's now again a 20-point game, 60-40. You've got to be aggressive if you're Millbrook. You've got to power up the middle, try to go for the basket and one. I think you really need to force the foul.
They're just going to have to force the issue right now. And whatever it takes, well, that's the three or getting to the line. They're not going to have time to move the ball. They just have to go downhill and press the issue.
Bowen and King are great with body control. Once they get in the air, they're really good at drawing the foul if they don't knock down the shot.
That's Joshua Bowen, of course, our scholar athlete.
He's one of the leaders of this program, a double-digit scorer.
Xavier Longe, the scholar athlete for Knightdale for the Knights. Seen that young man develop for 2 years playing at Clayton, then moved to Knightdale. Such a talent in his senior year. Shot for three, and he gets it. That's Joshua Bowen. Free throws don't go. Got a rebound. Scooped up another Crossroads Ford a few Quaverina three-pointer.
A huge shot, and that's where the comeback starts. He's knocking down the three-pointers. Now scrapping on the defensive end.
And they come up with it. Joshua Bowen, the one-man wrecking crew with the help of Al Hester. And just like that, they're on a 5-0 run here, Josh. Here come the Wildcats.
And Bowen is the juice right now. He is giving them life.
And now finally Jamari Williams will put a little dagger back in the heart of the Millbrook offense with another basket. And then there's a whistle. 62-45. At one time, Millbrook was on a 5-0 run. Still a lot of basketball left to go. 4 minutes. 62-45, the finish from Raleigh when we come back with high school hoops. Under 4 minutes remaining. Welcome back to Riddle and Riddle High School Hoops, presented by Crossroads Ford of Fuquay Arena. Jason Halter, Josh Powell, I'm Wesley Outland. And Jay, now we're going to send Ashton King to the line, and this is such a special senior. We definitely got a story from the coach, Davis, about this player at the original Grills free throw line.
Well, and Ashton King, what a player he is. Over 24 points per game on the floor, but off the court, his brother battling with leukemia, and he's going to be a donor after the season. And Coach Davis talked with us just about his character,
yes,
and that says it all, and what his brother's going through and what he's sacrificing to help save his brother is just a miraculous miracle and just a special love between those two, and just says everything about Ashton and the type of person he is.
Yeah, that's exactly the way Coach Davis put it, Josh, was don't look at the player on the court. Look at the just look at the man that is growing in front of us, and what he's doing for his younger brother is special.
That's right. And what we know about that, the bone marrow donation process is it can be very painful, but it's a great thing to be able to do that for somebody. It just shows you his character.
Last possession whistled by Millbrook out of bounds and gave it back to Knightdale. Knightdale trying to finish strong here with a road win. And not only a road win, Jay, a conference rivalry win here. Millbrook and Knightdale, definitely it's a bitter match in the northern NAC standings for sure.
Yeah, and the NAC projected the top 2 teams. So this is round 1. Round 2 will be later on as Millbrook creates the turnover.
Take away. Can Gray finish? He will. Marcel Gray, the junior guard. And I think that's his first basket of the night for number 5 for the Wildcats. Here comes a big finish and not able to get it in the net. Brandon Adams and the rebound. Give it back to Millbrook. And a turnover there by Gray. Up the middle, basket and one as Isaiah Green is fouled to the floor. He'll put it in the net, and he'll go to the original Grills free throw line for and one.
And Green is relentless. And on the defensive end, he's been phenomenal tonight. Averages 5 steals per game. And that theft takes it coast to coast with the finish all the way. And he tonight has just taken over. And everything he has shown us tonight is as advertised.
We talked about him being a two-way player, and I mean, that's something you can cut, put that on tape, and just prove it. I mean, he's been outstanding on both ends.
Isaiah Green to the line, the senior guard, standing at 6'2", and a basket and one will count. And they're continuing to add on the points to climb away from Millbrook, but Millbrook still comes back with another basket. Another big shot there by Ashton King, and a timeout now being made, 65-50. Do you got enough time, down by 15, Jay?
We'll see. I mean, right. Millbrook, they're going to keep fighting, and every opportunity they have, they're going to continue to push. And Ashton King, just the passion that he plays with right there, finding a way to get to the hoop, refusing to be denied. He pushed through that Knightdale defense to go all the way, and Christopher Davis and his staff talking to the team right now about, hey, on the defensive side, we need to press. We've got to create turnovers, maintaining a high level of intensity, giving them confidence in order to come back. And over on Antonio Watson's sideline, he's talking to his team right now about, hey, we've got 3 timeouts, 2:19 left. We've got a lead, but we need to continue to be composed with the basketball. We know they're going to trap us. Make strong passes, be assertive with your decision-making, and be aggressive.
And I'll throw this out here, Josh, as well. You know, the high scorer for Millbrook has got to be Ashton King, obviously, right? Maybe Knightdale knows that, and they're going to pressure number 10. They're going to do all they can to try to get in his head to make him mess up because they think they're going to give the ball to him. Maybe you need to find somebody else to throw a deep 3 here.
Yeah, they've been all over him, and nothing's come easy. All the points he's gotten have been really, really difficult. So we saw Joshua Bowen step up. We could see him step up down the stretch and try to chip away.
Isaiah Green will inbound it under the baseline of Millbrook. Trying to come up court with it. Now the center circle. Gets it to the hands of Sam Thomas. Sam Thomas now to Adams. For its 3, no good. Rebound and a whistle. They're going to say it's going to go to Millbrook basketball.
And that worked to Millbrook's advantage, speeding up Knightdale, forcing them to take that quick shot. And now the ball goes the other end of the court with the Wildcats going to the free throw line. The clock stopped, trying to cut into this lead.
I think that's what head coach Antonio Watson was begging for. Hey, you have them fix the clock, check the clock. You know, I think you stop the clock a little too earlier. Anyhow, they're going to go to the line. And why? Because Millbrook is already in the bonus. They can shoot free throws at the original Grills free throw line for the remainder of regulation. Again, that's presented by Original Grills. Elevate your grill game. 21, Mitchell Watson at the line. And that's what you need to do when the clock ain't running, score points.
And taking advantage of your opportunities. And now the defense is going to press.
Thomas pressures, as Jay mentioned. High throw to Adams. Adams now got a hand on it. Almost in front of us. Ashton King. Jay, I second-guessed myself there for a second. I thought that ball was coming towards us.
You were ready for it.
Those are good reflexes.
And for Knightdale, it's all about maintaining possession and using time right now. You don't need to rush your shot. No turnovers.
Green from Lange, and Green will finish. And another easy layup and in. And if you're in Knightdale, Josh, you just want to rack on more points.
That's right.
Take this to the finish line, my friend.
They continue attacking. They let their foot off the gas, and then out of nowhere, they just step on it, and they go straight to the basket. It's been tough.
There's a foul called on Xavier Lange, the senior guard. And you're going to send back to the original Grills free throw line, Ashton King. And if there's one thing I can take from this game tonight, win or lose, Jay Sonhalter, Ashton King is probably the most phenomenal free throw shooter I have seen in covering basketball this year since I've called games in November.
He makes it look easy and takes advantage of his opportunities. That one spins out, but it is rare.
I think I jinxed him. I'm sorry, Ashton.
It is rare. He's been so good tonight. I mean, just everything he does for his team on offense and defense with his leadership, he's a huge catalyst for this program.
But you know what, though? That's what you need in a player, Josh. You can have a player that can hit the triple or hit the layups. If you train your team players correctly, they can do that. But if you can teach somebody to methodically, every time, get that ball in the cylinder from the free throw line, that is going to be big in your favor.
Oh, yeah, and he's a guy who all teams are going to key on him, but he knows they're going to throw two, three guys at him, and he's just always going to work as hard as he can to score the basketball. And a lot of times it's from the free throw line, and he's nearly perfect tonight.
Well, Knightdale is looking to get a road win, and it is going to be a big one. Unless something happens, 67-55. Knightdale is about to split the series of 0-2. 1-1 when they came into this game. Now you're literally going to put Millbrook at 2-1, and now Knightdale is going to be tied with them in that Northern Atlantic Conference. So this splits it wide open going at the end of the first leg of conference play.
And for Millbrook, they'll be playing against Wakefield tomorrow. So with the weather and the schedule changing, they've got a back-to-back tomorrow. And this is a team throughout the season, they played a tough non-conference schedule, whether that was early on before the holidays or once they got to Christmas, playing in difficult Christmas tournaments.
Yes,
they are playoff ready. Same thing with Knightdale on the other side. Both coaches challenged their team in the non-conference, and then the NAC is another loaded conference that's really skilled and a lot of competition. So both sides will be ready in February and March.
Well, I think of the John Wall Holiday Invitational, Jay, and I've done some radio broadcasts over there in Raleigh for that prestigious event. And we saw Knightdale and Millbrook, both teams, as they're going to call the whistle and say, this is going to go back to Millbrook. In favor of Millbrook. Let's see this replay here.
Yeah, Millbrook's defensive pressure turning up.
A hand on it.
And they're going to get a turnover, and there's Bowen finding a way to get out on the floor.
Oh, boy, that was so close. And it's in favor of Millbrook.
Good defense.
Ashton King under the net to the baseline. Couldn't get it to the net. Ball falls. Last touch by the Knights. You got a buck and less than a quarter left to go here in this game. Shot, and no whistle as Ashton King had a hand on it, was Isaiah Green. And there comes Knightdale coming up with it. There's a whistle and a foul. I think they're going to say 11 of Evan Dean fouled it.
And it's hard to figure out where Green's been more impressive tonight, on the offensive end or the defensive end, because he's been absolutely incredible on the defensive end.
67-55, closing in on a minute remaining in regulation here. And I think slowly people are beginning to exit down the rafters to their automobiles and leaving the arena here of the home of the Wildcats. Got to reset, and that's what you got to do. Jay, as we mentioned, under a minute to go, as King under the net, trying again, second time, third time, not work. Knightdale back with the ball, but like you said, got to take this loss, sweep it off. You got the Wakefield Wolverines tomorrow right here at Millbrook.
And for Millbrook, you've got the game tomorrow against Wakefield, and right now, tonight shots just didn't fall. And you got to give credit to Knightdale's defense. What Antonio Watson and his team did on the road, as impressive as the offense was, their defense really took it to the next level.
But we also know Christopher Davis thrives on adversity, so he's definitely going to take this and use it as a teaching lesson.
And another basket and one as Jamel Perry might have put the final dagger in the heart of the Wildcats offense right here to end things here in this game, Jay.
The Knights have been able to break through on the pressure, and moving the ball quickly up the floor, and aggressiveness, attacking the hoop. That's been all night long. They've just been consistent with it, putting pressure on this defense, and this is going to be a big confidence boost on the road with the way they play tonight.
Could that be the final free throw shot? It's presented by Original Grills. Elevate your grill game. And no, we have whistles, and they're still both in the double bonus, meaning we're going to have free throws till that clock goes zero. This time, it's going to send number 2 to the line of Joshua Bowen again.
And for both teams, one more scheduled matchup in the regular season at Knightdale. Most likely they will play in the NAC 6 conference tournament as well, and possibly in the playoffs too. So these teams will see each other later on. It'll be interesting to see the adjustments they make when they play each other
you're splitting them up. Like you said, Jay, you're splitting them up. Millbrook Wildcats are now going to go to 2-1. Knightdale Knights are now going to be 2-1. And this opens the door for a chance, Josh. It's going to be a little bit of a climb, if you will, for Millbrook to go for a hat trick as the Northern Atlantic Conference champion.
It's true, but they have the talent, obviously, to do it, and they have a great leadership. I mean, when you have so much talent and leadership, the sky's the limit. This is a tough conference, and both of these teams showed just how tough they are. It's going to be fun to see how they progress the rest of the season.
Yeah, Ian Athene and some other players coming in on subs. Will Pickett from Millbrook. They're getting a chance to get some game time here. Number 20, Gabe Stambler. And this game is pretty much down to the home stretch with under 10 seconds now popping up on the clock. 71-56. Will Knightdale go for another dagger shot, or will they let this game end? Pressuring up the middle. That's going to do it as Isaiah Green will hold on to the ball, and that's the game here for high school hoops tonight. 71-56. Both teams now are 2-1 in the Northern Atlantic Conference. Millbrook will fall down to 7-10 overall. Knightdale is now 10-6 overall. But the big thing there overall, Jay, is the conference. You're now 2-1 with 2 great schools.
Yeah, and off to a good start for Knightdale, getting this win tonight. Then as you move into the second, facing each opponent again, and they're going into February on a hot streak with the way they play tonight.
71-56, the final. What a good one here tonight for high school hoops. Coach Antonio Watson and the Knightdale Knights join Jay Sonhalter at Center Circle in Raleigh when we return. Well, as I mentioned, a lot of basketball was postponed or delayed because of the winter weather that hit through the triangle. But great efforts was made between Knightdale and Millbrook to have this game be for high school hoops. And Jay Sonhalter, my colleague, is standing by right now with the head coach of the Knightdale Knights, Antonio Watson, and the players, and a special win here in Raleigh.
With Antonio Watson and Coach 71 points tonight. As good as your offense was, your defense, creating turnovers, was really the catalyst.
That's what we focus on every night, defending first, getting stops, and then score. So that's always been us. We're going to continue to do it. And these guys played a heck of a game tonight for sure.
And on the offensive side, your ability to shoot the three-point shot as well as getting to the rim, it's so difficult to defend.
Yes, sir. This is probably our best shooting night of the season, I'll say. I don't know if we hit that many threes all night, but they did a great job executing the offense and in transition, so it was a great balanced game offensively.
And when we were watching this ball game, the emotion that you coach with, it feeds to your players, and they play so hard. Where does that come from? And I know you must be so proud of how hard they play.
Family. My family is a basketball family, and this is my passion. I love to do it. Every day we get after it in practice, and it just feeds off. And super proud of these guys for the effort they put in tonight. They really earned this win tonight.
And this was a huge ball game. Two of the top teams in the NAC, and I expect you guys to have long playoff runs this season. But these ball games are so important, especially on the road. What does this win mean?
It's big for our confidence. Coming off a loss, we took over at Heritage to a very good Heritage team. Bouncing back, it showed a lot of mental toughness for our guys to focus on to the next game. So hopefully we can build all this and start a winning streak for sure.
Coach, good luck the rest of the season. Great job tonight, and here's your high school hoops trophy. Congrats.
Thank you, fellas. Yes, sir.
Hey, all of us would like to take a moment to thank the wonderful folks at Riddle & Riddle who make these games possible for you viewers at home. We'd also like to thank our other great supporters for their contributions to high school hoops on WRDC Sports. Crossroads Ford of Fuquay Arena, Air Experts, Heating and Cooling and Plumbing, Original Grills, and Tatum and Atkinson. And we'd especially like to thank tonight's participating high schools and their administrators for their continued support. Knightdale High School and Millbrook High School. Join us next Wednesday when women's Wakefield Wolverines take on the women's Roseville Rams. And next Friday, the men's Clayton Comets, the High Flyers of Seatown, I call them, will battle the Garner Trojans in Greater News Conference play. For Josh Powell, Jay Sonhalter, and everybody in the WRDC Sports Production truck, this is Wesley Outland thanking you for joining us. 71-56, Knightdale on the road beats Millbrook. Good evening.